Hello everyone. In this session we are going to learn about the for loop. Whenever we want to run a code multiple number of times, we add it as part of loop and then we iterate the loop so that code can be iterated multiple number of times. So instead of repeating the code again and again, it is best practice to add it as part of loop and then iterate the loop for desired amount of iterations. In case of for loop, we have the keyword for, and in the brackets, we will initialize a loop variable. It is an integer variable, let us say int I, and then we'll assign some initial value to that loop variable, let us say 1. So when the value of I is equal to 1, and then we will assign it some upper limit. We can assign it some upper limit or lower limit. In this case, we say the upper limit is 10. So we are actually saying when the value of I is 1 and when it will become 10, in between this range the loop will iterate. Now the number of steps it is going to take for I to reach up to 10, we will define it as part of this third parameter of the loop. When we say I plus plus, it means it will take one step at a time to reach to 10 from 1, and we can add whatever number of steps depending upon our requirement. Like I plus equal to 2 is like value of I will get incremented by 2 every time. So in this case I am going to say just I plus plus, and then when we run this code, let us see the value of I inside the loop. So in this case loop iterates for 10 times, and when it is iterating we can see the values of I being changed from 1 to 10, and when the value of I becomes 10, we can see it has reached the upper limit. The condition is it's true, and generally the execution is like initially the value will be I is equal to 1, then it will validate the condition yes 1 is less than or equal to 10, then it will go inside the loop, execute the loop, then the value of I will get incremented. Now I will become 2, again the condition will be evaluated, 2 is still less than or equal to 10, it will run the code, whatever code is part of the loop. Now when the value became 10, we can see value 10 got printed, and then increment happen, which makes value to 11. Now 11 is not less than and not equal to 10, so it comes out of the loop. So this is how the for loop works. Now this is the incremental. Now if you want to make it a decremental for loop, like for example let us start with 10 and then let us assign it some lower limit until the value of I is greater than 1 or maybe greater than or equal to 1, and then let us say I minus equal to 2. So let us step down by 2 steps at a time and let us see how the values look like inside the loop, how many times loop iterate in the output. Now when you run this code, you see the values of I are going from 10 to 8, 6, 4 and 2. This is how the loop iterates. So simple. Again, the concept of for loop, we have a loop variable, we will initialize its value, we'll assign it some upper limit or lower limit, we'll give it some steps, and inside the loop, whatever code we want to iterate, we'll add that code inside that. Now let us do some quick exercises with the for loop. I want to create a program to find out the even numbers in between 1 and 100. I want to write a simple program to find out even numbers in between 1 and 100. Now, there is a simple logic to find out an even number. What I want to do, I want to divide that number by 2 and find the mod, isn't it? If I divide a number by 2 and the remainder is 0, it means it is an even number. So I'm going to apply the same logic inside the for loop over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to just modify this loop from 1 to 100. So we are starting with 1, going up to 100. Step is 1, I plus plus. And inside over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply use if condition. Inside the if condition, I'm going to say, let us say number, that is I, and modulus 2 is equal to 0. So each time I'm going to get a number from I, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 100. I'm going to divide that value with 2 and going to find the modulus. Now modulus is remainder, as we have seen as part of our previous sessions, and if that remainder is 0, it means it is even number, and I'm going to print that number as output. Even number I. Now when we execute this code, you can see all the even numbers from 1 to 100 getting printed in the output.